Have you ever felt like British people are speaking sometimes in some kind of code? Have you ever tried to keep up in a conversation, nodding along, sort of, yeah, only to realise later that you actually had no idea what they meant? Well, in this lesson, we're going to look at what the British say versus what they actually mean. So, welcome to the world of British indirectness, where politeness and understatement mean everything and nothing at the same time. So, we are actually going to look at what British people say versus what they're actually trying to say. Hello, you amazing human beings. My name is Roy, and welcome to All Things British English. I am a British English teacher, and on this channel, we learn everything connected with British English and a modern British RP accent. And today, I'm breaking down the British phrases that you think you understand, but you actually don't. From the charming not bad actually to the ultimate rejection, it's just not my cup of tea. We are revealing the hidden meanings behind these British expressions, and trust me, by the end of this video, you will be one step closer to mastering the art of British English. So let's get ready, because we're going to dive into 8 phrases that might just change the way you hear British people forever. So the first one is not bad actually. Not bad actually. So when a British person says, yeah, not bad actually, especially with that kind of upwards inflection, yeah, not bad actually, you might just think that they're saying that something is okay, as in it's not bad. But what this actually means with that wonderful sort of upwards inflection is, wow, this is surprisingly good. It is incredibly high praise, and it's of course wrapped in that understatement. So if you say, have you seen that film? What did you think? Yeah, it's not bad actually. Or this food that maybe you weren't expecting it to be amazing, and you say, wow, this is not bad actually. It is basically saying that it's amazing. Now, British people love downplaying everything, even when we love it. Next up is, I'll bear it in mind. I'll bear it in mind. Now, if you hear this after giving a suggestion, so for example, you go to your boss, you say, oh, I've got this great idea, what do you think? And you explain your idea, and then at the end, your boss says, yeah, I'll bear it in mind. That sounds pretty nice, right? But what actually means is they're never going to think about it. It's never going to happen. They are trying to politely say that they don't like your idea and that they don't want to think about it any further. It is politeness over bluntness, and that is a quite British habit. So the next time you suggest an idea and somebody says, I'll bear it in mind, it basically means they're never going to think about it again. Especially if it's delivered quite flatly. I'll bear it in mind. Next up, we have with all due respect. Now, with all due respect sounds like I'm going to be really respectful. Oh, with all due respect. It sounds like I'm about to deliver a statement of admiration and respect. But prepare yourself, because this phrase often means, especially when it's quite cutting, brace yourself, I disagree with you completely. In British culture, with all due respect basically means I think that what you've said is stupid, or on some level that I think you're a bit of an idiot. So, with all due respect, I think you're absolutely wrong. In British culture, we tend to cushion criticism with a bit of softness first. So, we're sort of preparing you for some bad comment that's coming. But don't be fooled, because after with all due respect, it is very, very rarely a compliment. With all due respect, I think your idea is ridiculous. Ouch. Next up is, I might join you later. When you invite a British person to join you, maybe you're going to a party, a pub, and they say, yeah, I might join you later. Don't hold your breath. What it actually means is, I'm probably not coming. In fact, it basically means, yeah, I'm not coming, but I don't want to sound rude. Oh, you've got a party? Yeah, I might join you later. Yeah, I'm not coming to your party. I'm so sorry. Classic British indirectness, avoiding an outright no. Let's agree to disagree might sound quite straightforward, but when a British person says, let's agree to disagree, they're actually saying, not, okay, I understand. They're actually saying, we're never going to agree. We're never going to see eye to eye. There is no point talking about it. Let's drop it here. It's a polite way to just end the debate. You think one thing, I think another one. We're never going to agree. Let's just agree to disagree. Especially when it's delivered quite bluntly. yeah, let's just agree to disagree. Or with that word, fine. That word fine can sometimes, especially with that tone, prepare you for a statement which ends the conversation. Fine, let's just agree to disagree. Next up, we have a classic. It's just not my cup of tea. Now, this one is a little bit old-fashioned and it doesn't get used as much as it once did, but you will still hear it. And you can hear this being used to talk about everything from food to fashion. But here's the truth. When a British person says, it's just not my cup of tea, it sounds like, yeah, it's not my preference, but what they actually mean is that they really, really don't like it. It's kind of an ultimate rejection, an ultimate, oh so polite British rejection. So for example, oh, I really like rock music. Yeah, that's just not my cup of tea. In other words, I don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't enjoy it or like it in any way. Next up, we have interesting. Now, this word is pretty crazy. It could mean anything from I've never thought of it that way or to that's the worst idea I've ever heard. If you're not sure what they mean by this one, just look at their face and particularly the tone. So for example, if I say something, if you tell me an idea like, oh, you know, I went away at the weekend and I just say, interesting, I'm probably not interested at all. However, if there's an upwards inflection and you say, oh, maybe we could do it this way, interesting, it's maybe that I'd never thought of that. So if I say interesting, it's all about the tone and the facial expressions. The real meaning is written all over my face. So, you know, oh, I went to Benidorm at the weekend. Interesting. If I actually want to show genuine interest and want to learn more, I will show interest. I will use more words. I'll be like, oh, really? Where did you go? When did you go? How was it? Things like this. But if I simply say a simple word of interesting, especially delivered flatly, it basically means I have zero interest whatsoever. And finally, we have arguably one of my favourites. It is, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Now, you might think that we are asking for more details, but no, we're actually saying, I understand exactly what you mean. I've been through it myself. You don't need to tell me any more about it. We're saying, tell me about it, to say, don't tell me about it. I know that's a bit weird, but it's particularly when it's delivered in quite a flat tone. So, for example, you're talking about the weather. Oh, it's really cold today, isn't it? And I say, yeah, tell me about it. In other words, I totally agree. You don't then need to tell me about it. You don't need to explain. I don't need more details, especially when, as I said, it's delivered on that kind of flat tone. Tell me about it. Don't start explaining. They're already agreeing with you. That's what it means when it's that flat tone. Now, a lot of students ask me, but what can I reply when a British person says, tell me about it? The best thing here is just to say, yeah, and keep flowing with the conversation or keep trying to say something, but within a kind of the same topic. So, for example, it's cold today, isn't it? Tell me about it. Yeah, I might buy a coat, actually. It's that cold. If the British person after this point continues to just say, yeah, okay, sure, then if it's those kind of one-word answers, they're probably actually not that stimulated by the conversation, and it's probably best to just give up at that point. But if they then go, yeah, there's a really good sale on at the shop. Now, one thing I do need to say is that when a British person says, tell me about it, don't then change the subject completely, because that would also sound really bizarre. So, it's cold today, isn't it? Yep, tell me about it. Well, I'm going to buy some new Lego. Sounds a bit strange. So keep it within the vague topic. And as I said, if the British person continues to not really show much interest, then that conversation is probably over. So there you have it. The next time you hear these 8 wonderful phrases, you will know exactly what's being said. Hit that like button. Please do like this video. And let me know in the comments below any other things you would like to learn about British English. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye!